Okay, let's start with our warm-up. We will be doing the same 4 exercises for each warm-up that we do with the Otago exercise program. You will first start in sitting, and you want to be in your chair that has a firm seat and a firm back. The very first exercise will be neck rotation. And first, you'll want to scoot forward in your chair so that your feet are flat on the floor. This will be different for everyone. Those with longer legs can actually have their feet flat on the floor when they're sitting in the chair without scooting forward. Those with shorter legs, like myself, you need to scoot. For the neck rotation exercise, put your hands on your knees, and we're going to do this a little differently. Instead of starting by turning your head, I actually want you to start by sliding your hand down your knee, and then sliding the opposite hand down your knee. And what you can see is that by sliding my hand down my knee, I'm getting a gentle twist in my spine, and my head is naturally following my shoulders. While doing this exercise, you want to be very respectful of any pain or any stiffness. Do not push in to pain or stiffness. The other thing you want to make sure is that you do not get dizzy. If you get dizzy while doing this exercise, you need to speak to your doctor. The goal is to do 10 rotations. We're at about 9 right now, so we will do 1 more and 1 more. And then you'll end by facing forward. The next exercise that we're going to do is a posture exercise called the chin tuck. So in our society, we tend to get very rounded and we tend to have forward heads. This makes the muscles in the back of our neck very, very tight. So for this exercise, what we're going to be focusing on is having very good posture and stretching these muscles here in the very back. Again, you're going to be sitting straight with your feet planted on the floor, and you're very gently just going to glide your head back on your neck. It's sort of a strange feeling, and you will make this lovely double chin while you're doing it. But what you should be doing is feeling your head gliding back on your neck and a very gentle stretch in the back of your head, these little muscles back here, and then relaxing. Here's 4, and relax. When people do this exercise, it's a very small motion, and be very careful that you're not looking up or looking way down. You should just be looking straight ahead. That's 6 and 7. And again, gentle, gentle movements. And here's 9 and 10. Good job. So our next warm-up exercise is done in standing. So you want to start with your feet around hip-width apart. And first thing you want to do is a posture check. Again, you want to stand with your hips over your feet, your shoulders over your hips, nice and tall. And you really want to ground your feet into the floor. And you're going to gently do what's called the trunk rotation exercise. I, again, start this exercise from my hips. I'm just going to twist my hips to the right and then to the left. And my spine is going to follow. It's a very gentle exercise. Should be very comfortable to do. Be very, very aware of any stiffness or pain. Don't push into it. And we're going to go for 10 or so rotations. When you're doing this, you'll actually should feel your feet shifting left and right just a little bit as well. Nice and gentle. You may find you can actually twist a little further each time. Just go with it. And everything nice and loose and ready. Our last warm-up is an exercise that just focuses on our posture. So you're going to stand, do a quick little march in place, get your feet under you, and I want you to stand nice and tall. Don't lock your knees out. Have a soft bend in your knees, shoulders back, and you really should feel like someone has a string and they're pulling you straight up to the ceiling. You're going to hold this position and you're going to take 3 deep breaths. When you're breathing, you can think about filling your belly up with air and blowing it out. Getting some good oxygen into our body. And then just take a little break and relax. And you should feel like you're a little straighter and a little more oxygenated. And we're going to do that one more time as our final warm-up exercise. So again, just get your feet under you, take a couple steps, and then stop. Stand up nice and tall, root deep into the ground, feel like somebody's pulling you up and you're making space in your spine. And you're going to take those 3 deep breaths while keeping your shoulders relaxed. And now we're ready to start the exercise program. All right, so now we are going to be progressing that leg extension exercise to be doing 3 sets of 10. So again, you want to start with your chair that has the flat bottom and the flat back. You're going to scoot forward in that chair so your feet are flat on the floor. And again, even though we're increasing the number of reps, you're going to want to use those ankle weights. So go ahead and put them on. Give yourself that little extra bit of resistance. There we go. Studies show that that extra resistance makes all the difference in the benefit from the exercise. So, feet flat on the ground, standing up nice and tall, really have your core muscles engaged, and let's go. So again, we're going to straighten the leg and bend the leg. And we're going to do this for 10 repetitions, 3 times. And just know that once you get to 3 sets of 10, we won't be adding any more. So this will be it. Just keep adding the weights. Keeping the leg nice and straight. Go. Making sure the movement is nice and slow and controlled. And this will be 10. Good. Taking a deep breath. Reposition, feet flat, good posture. Make sure you're not getting into any of those bad habits of slouching or using momentum to do the exercise. Good. And if you ever need to take a break while you're doing these exercises, that is okay too. Not a problem. You still get the same benefit even if it takes you a little bit longer. Good, and then take a break, and again. And you'll probably start seeing the benefit of doing this exercise in your ability to get in and out of a chair or one of those really deep sofas. Start feeling your legs are getting nice and strong and really powerful. There you go. Got a couple more. Probably getting a little bit of muscle burn. That's okay. Just means that your muscles are doing what they're supposed to do. If you have any pain, that's when you want to stop. That muscle burn means that you're burning those lactic acid up, your muscles are working hard, they're getting stronger. Should be soreness, that's okay. Pain is your body's way of saying something's not right. And that's 8 and 9 and 10. Good. Now, if this is your first time adding this extra set in, you can consider decreasing your ankle weight a little bit, or even taking it off for this last set, or just keep on going. But the goal is to eventually do 3 sets of 10, add a consistent weight, and when that gets easy, start adding on more weight. Good. Again, keep it nice and tall. Belly in. Good. Yay, down on this side. And there we go. That's 6 here. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Our next exercise is done in standing with the ankle weights. This is one of my favorite exercises. It's called standing hip abduction. What you're going to do is you're going to stand next to a chair, and you can use this chair for support at any point in time. I want you to start focusing on your posture, standing up nice and tall. And there's a trick to this exercise. The trick is you're going to bring your foot out slightly, and then you're just going to lift and lower from this position, just like this. 3, 4. And you'll see as I'm doing this, I'm not shifting my shoulders. I'm standing nice and tall. And I'm using this for just a little bit of support. Good. Now we'll go ahead and do the other side. Again, you want to use the chair, or for more of a balance challenge, you can actually do it without the chair for support. You're going to bring your legs slightly out to the side and lift and lower, just like this. As you do the exercise, again, nice and tall, your toes are staying forward, you're not turning them out, your hips are staying forward, you're not rotating, and your shoulders are staying over your hips. Using your belly muscles and your breathing. And trying to stay in control of the exercise. Good job. We're going to move to the other side. We're going to do another set of 10. One thing that I want you to pay attention to as you're doing the exercise is that you're not bobbing. This is not the exercise. Again, you're nice and tall. So you're going to lift and lower. It's a great exercise to help you strengthen your hips. And I actually feel this exercise a lot more in my standing hip when I'm doing it, because this hip is working really hard to stabilize my body as I'm lifting the other side. Great. And then we'll shift to the other side for that last set of 10. Again, bringing that foot out, making sure the toe is pointed forward, and you're going to lift and lower. our hips are really important to help stabilize us as we walk and help us maintain our balance. We don't do a lot of activity from side to side in our daily movements, but those side to side muscles are really critical for keeping us nice and strong and balanced. I think we got one more. Good. Okay, so now we're going to increase the standing knee flexion exercise and add another set of 10. So at this point, you want to make sure you've got a little bit of weight in your ankle weights, and we're going to do that exercise just like we did before. You're going to use the back of the chair. You're going to stand up nice and tall, and you're just going to gently lift your heel behind you and lower it to the floor. For this exercise, I really encourage that people use the back of the chair and not let go, because I think it really helps us keep our posture and the alignment for this exercise. It's really easy to lose that otherwise. There you go. Good, and again, we're really using the back of the leg to do this motion, using our gluteus maximus, biggest muscle in the body, getting it nice and strong to hold us upright all day long. There you go. And again, you're not kicking it, you're not using momentum. I lost count, but I think this is 10. Good. Reposition, take a deep breath. And then again, one more set of 10. And when you return your foot, you want to make sure it's right underneath you. You don't want to kick it way forward. You just want to put it straight down on the ground. Good. Very good. And then you're going to go ahead and change sides again. Good. And you're going to feel your body weight will shift over. It's going to shift over to the right leg when you're working the left leg. Totally fine. Just don't want to lose control of it. So let it shift, but keep your posture nice and tall. Good. And 10. Good. Excellent job. So remember to take off your weights and we'll move forward with the program. So our next exercise we're going to do is both a strength and a balance exercise. And what I'm going to have you do is you absolutely need a chair with a high back. You're going to turn and face the back of the chair. And I want you to start the exercise with both hands on the chair. And what we're going to do is we're simply going to raise up our heels just like this. So we're lifting straight up, holding, and lowering down. This is an amazing exercise to strengthen your calf muscles and your ankle muscles. All the muscles around your ankle. It's a great balance exercise. Now the trick is to not be forward or not be back. You're literally pulling your belly in, good posture, and coming straight up. So we're going to do one set of 10, take a break, and then do a second set of 10. So we're going up 1 and 2. And to make this a little bit more of a challenge for your balance, you can let go with one hand, and only do this when you're feeling good and strong. It's 5 and 6 and 7. You can also challenge yourself, 8, by just holding on with a finger, 9 and 10. We'll take a little break. You probably feel a little bit of muscle burn in the back of your calves. That's good. You want to feel that. We're going to do a second set of 10. And when you're doing this, I want you to think about keeping the weight over the balls of your toes. So you're really feeling the weight in that big fleshy part of your, right by your big toe of your foot. So we're going to start 1 and 2. And again, you can do that balance, challenge your balance when you're ready. When you're really ready, you can do no hands. You'll see a big difference. So this is the most advanced version of this exercise. And 5 and 6. You're getting that double whammy. 7 and 8. And I'm starting to lose it a little, so I'm going to hang on again. 9 and 10. Good. Okay, so we're going to take that squat exercise and we're going to make it a little more challenging by adding another set of 10 repetitions. And again, you want to be in your pain-free range when you're doing this exercise, so figure out what that is, and you don't have to go down very deep to get the benefits. So you want to stand, make sure your feet are hip width apart, standing up nice and tall. You can use the chair for balance if you'd like. You can also try the exercise without the chair. You want to keep your spine straight. You start the movement by moving your backside back and then up. So that's 1 and 2. Good. I keep the majority of my weight in my heels and push up through my heels when I'm coming up. There's 4. It's a great exercise. It's a super good exercise for your leg muscles and your core muscles. Doing great. Keep your chest nice and open and eyes up. Good. And remember, you don't have to bend your knees very much. So find that pain-free range that you can work in. Okay, we've got 1 more, I think. Might have put a few extra in there. Good. Take a little break. You can shake your hips out if you want. Take a deep breath. And then we'll do our next set of 10. And we're going to go down 1. Good. Keeping that spine super straight. That's it. Making those big muscles in your backside and your leg do all the work. Good. If you're getting tired, need a little extra support, hand on the chair. Good. And you'll notice I'm going pretty slow when I do this. So no speedy squats. Good. Belly in. Got 2 more. And last one. Excellent. Okay, so the next exercise is our sit to stand exercise, and today we'll be doing 2 sets of 10. So again, you want to get your chair, get it against the wall, go ahead and sit down. You want to scoot forward in the chair, and if you need to, use your hands to push off. But if you're ready, try doing the exercise, at least the first set, without using your hands at all. And we're going to stand all the way up and all the way down. We're not going to use momentum. We're using our muscles to control the push-up and the sit-down. I absolutely love this exercise because it's so practical. It's something we can do every day. So you can do this actual exercise at any point during your day and get some great benefits. You don't have to do it just as part of the Otago exercise program. So here's 7. And 8. Good. And 9. and 10. Good job. And then we're going to sit. Good. Take a little break, and we'll do one more set of 10. If you need to use your hands on the second set, feel free. And again, just make sure you're not using any momentum to get up out of the chair. So we'll go ahead and start with 1. There you go. You'll find if you're using a chair that's a little lower to the ground, it's harder. Really best to just use a standard height chair if you can. It's really hard to do this exercise when you're like in a sofa or any kind of a cushy chair. Good. Nice. People can usually see the benefit of this exercise really quickly. I've had a lot of clients come to me and say, you know, I went to my favorite restaurant and I was able to get out of that really cushy booth because my legs are strong now. 8, 9, and last one, 10. Very good. Okay, our next exercise is what we call a static balance exercise, and what that means is we're putting ourselves in a really narrow base of support, and then we're going to hold that position. And ideally, we're going to hold it without using our arms for balance, but definitely use your arms for balance if you need it. The exercise is called the Tandem stance exercise. And in this exercise, you're going to do a heel-toe position, or what I call a tightrope position, the kind of position you would hold as if you were standing on a tightrope. We're going to start this exercise with our left leg forward. Now, please note, if you recently have had hip surgery or a hip replacement surgery and you're not supposed to cross your legs, do not do this exercise. Or if you have any other reason why you can't put one foot in front of the other. The modification actually is even just standing in a little bit more of a narrow position, like with your feet close together. But for now, this is the exercise we're going to do. You're going to put your left foot in front of your right foot. And once you have your balance, you're going to hover your hand right above the back of the chair. And the reason why I say hover your hand is that the minute you feel like you're losing your balance, just put your hand down. And that immediately increases your base of support. All right? It's just very silly to overstress your balance abilities and lose your balance doing this exercise. Just put your hand down. All right, so start with standing in really good posture, and then you're going to move your left foot directly in front of your right foot in that tightrope position. And then when you're ready, you're going to let go, and we're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. And all you're doing is maintaining your balance. Like I said, if you feel like you're starting to lose it, you can put your hand down and then put your hand back up the minute you can. If you can hold this position for 30 seconds without any upper extremity support, you are doing incredibly well. And it's a really fun exercise because you can really see the progress. So keep holding it. Great. And put your hand down and step out of the position. Very good. Now we're going to do the exact same exercise on the opposite, or with the opposite leg in front. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put your right foot in front of your left foot, and just notice this may feel different to you. And again, you're going to, when you're ready, you're going to let go. And you can see for me, this is different. I have to work a little bit harder. And again, you're going to hover that hand. That really narrow base of support is challenging all the muscles in my ankles. They're sending all the information up to my brain as to how to correct so I can maintain this base of support. You want to keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your belly in, and hold it for just a few more seconds. And hand down and step out and relax. Excellent job. So as you continue to do that exercise, just keep continuing to challenge your balance and really focus on not using your hand to support yourself. This next exercise is our last static balance exercise. And like the tandem stance, we're going to be in a very narrow base of support, but this time we're just going to be standing on one leg instead of two. Very similar. You're going to put your hand on the back of the chair, standing up nice and straight. You're going to lift your heel up of your left foot so you're standing on your right. And the trick to this exercise is not letting your hips shift out. You've got to stand nice and tall. And the other trick to this exercise is keeping a little bit of space in between your legs. So if you're squeezing your legs together, or if you're hooking the foot behind, this is cheating. You're not going to get the benefit of the exercise. All right, so start with your feet right underneath you. You're going to go ahead, shift your weight over to the right, pick your left foot up, and then you're going to hover that hand and hold this position for 30 seconds. And you will really start to feel it in your right hip muscle, that hip abductor muscle. That muscle is so important to help us keep our pelvis aligned and straight and supported while we're walking. And you'll soon find out that 30 seconds is a long time. If you need to, put your hand down. If you need to, put your toes down. And then pick back up when you're balanced again and go for it. And we're almost at the end. And hand down, foot down. Excellent job. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And again, you may find there's a difference in your ability to balance on your left foot versus your right. So we're going to shift over, pick your right foot up, and then we're going to go ahead and let go and hold this position for 30 seconds. Really great exercise. You can do this throughout your day whenever you want. You can do this while you're brushing your teeth. You can do this anytime you're standing at your kitchen counter. It's just a fantastic, fantastic balance exercise. You don't just have to do it when you're doing this particular exercise program. And the more you practice, the better you'll get. Excellent job. Hand down, foot down. So our next exercise is taking that tightrope stance that we did earlier and making it dynamic. So I call this walking the tightrope. So you're going to go ahead, be next to your wall, and you're going to take 10 steps forward using that heel-toe position. So you're going to go 1, just like this. As you can see, I've just got my heel, bringing my foot around, heel touching toe, bringing my foot around. Using that wall for balance as needed. If you feeling good, you can let go of the wall, but be close enough that you can always put your hand out. Good. Good job. Whenever you're putting your hand out, you're increasing your base of support, which is really making it easier to maintain your balance. So it's always good to start with your hand out and then just test yourself. So we're going to go ahead and go back. So the goal is to do 4 sets of 10 steps. So we're going to go 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And yes, you could be taking bigger steps, but it's a much bigger challenge for your balance when you do that heel toe because it forces that narrow position. All right, we're going to repeat this down and back one more time. And 1, 2, let go when you're ready. Right? Good. Gets easier the more you do it. And then the last time, I'm going to go 1 and 2. And again, going slow. Good. Great. So this exercise is going to seem very, very simple, but it's also very practical. So what it really entails is walking in a circle in one direction and then walking in a circle the other direction. And it's really just working on challenging our ability to change direction and maintain our balance throughout, and also just to really pay attention about what we're doing. So um, you, where you start is going to be your center point, and you are going to walk in a circle to the left, and it can be a moderate sized circle. The smaller you make it, the more challenging it is. Come back to the center, and then you're going to walk to the right. And we're going to do that 3 more times. And as you're doing this, if you want to increase the challenge to your balance, have a conversation with somebody. It's actually a pretty good challenge to walk and talk and walk in a pattern and talk in a pattern. And then we're going to do 2 more times. And then add in a couple other people doing it with you. It can get pretty complicated. And this one too, you can play with speed a little bit. You can go a little faster if you want, a little slower. Again, it's all going to challenge your balance in different ways. Okay,